Well, hello, babes. I don't feel so good today. I woke up with some head pain and I'm kind of thinking back as to why that might be, and I have a lot of theories. We can get into those later, but I think what actually happened is that my migraine attack actually started yesterday and I took a painkiller to treat it. I remember thinking like, hey, I think my head hurts, and I went and took a painkiller. It probably just didn't work, is what probably happened, but we can chat more about that later. I wanted to bring you along my day today. Today is Friday, so I have a very busy day ahead of me. So hopefully the migraine attack doesn't, progress. Maybe I should do something about it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so where we are in the day right now, it is around 8:30, a little bit later than I would like for it to be. My fiance just left for work and I'm getting ready to go to work myself. So I just actually got back from a run with my dog, my husky, Kyla. She loves her morning runs, although she is terrible at them. She is not very easy to run with. Okay, so here's what happened. I have not always been a runner, and I'm not really even a runner now, I wouldn't say. But basically, huskies are very active. So ever since we got her around 2 to 3 years ago, I've just been walking all the time. I always have to be outside giving her walks, and I really wanted to start exercising more and being a little bit more active and everything, but I didn't want to add more time into being active because I'm already walking all day, it feels like. So I'm like, why don't I just try to turn one of those walks into a run? Because I don't hate running, I just have never been a big runner. So I don't do anything crazy. It's just around the neighborhood and everything. For our first walk of the day is now a run. And so I haven't felt that bad today. I know I told you that I have some head pain and it's probably migraine attack is progressing a little bit, but I haven't felt that bad. So I did just finish a run. It was a little bit different than usual because Kyla every once in a while likes to just lay down in the grass abruptly, not let me drag her any further, eat a bunch of the grass, and then make herself vomit. And she did that today. So we were actually out and about a little bit longer than usual because she decided that her stomach was upset, which I'm glad she vomits outside, that's all I'm saying. Oh my gosh, I think she's coming here. Let me show her. Come here, baby. She doesn't like to be picked up. She kind of goes offline, but here's my love, my little baby. I've also kind of trained her on accident. I'm about to jump in the shower and she, for some reason, has now determined that anytime I go in the shower, she gets a treat. So that's kind of why she's coming up. So I'm gonna go in the shower. We have a very busy day ahead of us. I'll see you in a minute. Hello again. Oh my gosh. So I just went ahead, I just got out of the shower, but I went ahead and I took my Nurtec medication, which is what I do for my migraine symptoms as needed. This is my abortive medication. Sorry, I'm a little foggy right now. And I love it. There's a delicious minty flavor in my mouth. Now, I was so scared when I first was prescribed this because I used to take, I forget which tryptophan medication. I've taken a few in the past. I no longer take any because I developed an allergy or something. It's whatever. Anyway, also I didn't like it. I love this. So I was taking a tryptophan that would also have a dissolve on the tongue option. And I tried it once and it was so bad tasting that I never wanted to taste medication ever again, period. And I've developed a habit where I won't put the pills in my mouth and let them settle as I get a drink. I have to have a mouthful of water or whatever to take any medication because I'm so scared of tasting medication. But this tastes delightful. It tastes like a candy. Anyway, that's hopefully gonna make me feel a little bit better. I also have my cup of coffee here. I usually do drink coffee every day. I've actually had some changes in regards to that lately, but I have coffee every day. So right now we're business as usual, but if I still don't feel better a little bit later this morning, then I might opt for a second cup, okay? So I ran out of dry shampoo. I ran out of my dry shampoo. I didn't know I didn't have another backup. So I have greasy hair today and we're gonna try some sort of baking soda thing. I know I've done this in the past and this is just an old powder that I'm just scared to pour it onto my hair. So we're gonna put it in this little pan and then try to use a makeup brush to put it on my hair. Am I breaking stuff? What's happening? Today, I have a busy day, like I said. What I've got going on is I have 2 locations to work at. So I'm a consultant dietitian nutritionist. I go into buildings and basically work as needed. Both of my buildings today are psych inpatient hospitals, which I find very fun. Actually, those are the only 2 buildings I work at, period, right now, like on a consistent basis. Sometimes I do other stuff, but my only 2 regular buildings are these 2 psych places, and I love that. But both of them, I have a lot of like in progress projects going on, and I'm a little bit stressed. And also census at both of these hospitals have been a little higher lately. And the last couple times I've visited, specifically one of them, I've had literally full working days at just the one building for like the last week, which I mean might sound like, what are you even talking about? Why is that a bad thing? For me, a lot of my buildings are more, in the past anyway, are more like in and out. Like I can go to several places in one day because most of them are only like a couple of hours at most. Because basically I don't ever know. It's always kind of just show up and do whatever work is due and then leave and then come back in a couple days and do it all again. So it's always a little bit like ebbing and flowing, but for some reason it's just been very heavy workload lately. So I have that I'm worried about. Again, some pending projects. I have some menu and food service stuff that I have to work on for both of the buildings, which is not my strong suit. So I'm again, dietitian, and I love doing the nutrition part of my job and like doing nutrition assessments, consulting with the patients, and like all of that. So I like that stuff, but whenever I have to be more involved in the kitchen department, like that is for some reason a hang up for me. Like I find it a little bit more difficult, and not that I'm like bad at it or hate it, but it's just like not, it's like that's not my passion, you know? Both of them, I have to do a lot of menu updates for like their menu cycle for various reasons for both of them. I have to do sanitation inspections to make sure the kitchen is all clean and in order and everything before the end of the month. So I still have a little while, but I would like to jump on that earlier rather than later because it's November and I'm gonna be traveling later this month for Thanksgiving. So I don't wanna like leave that and then miss it or like get behind or something. I don't know. All right. I don't know if that worked, but we will let that sit there as I get ready, and hopefully it did work. Oh my gosh, I couldn't find my sunscreen for a second. It's so dark and gloomy. Like I feel like I haven't had sunlight in like 4 days or something. But you still gotta wear your sunscreen. So the one I'm actually using right now is my favorite one that I've tried so far. Like I haven't tried that many because I haven't gotten very serious about like my sunscreen usage until kind of recently, like the last year or so. I don't know, time doesn't make any sense, so it could have been different. But yeah, this is my favorite that I've tried so far. It's the Beauty of, oh gosh, bold of me to assume I'm gonna be able to pronounce this, but Beauty of Joseon. I don't know, it's a very popular brand, so you've probably seen it if you've watched like beauty YouTube or looking for a sunscreen yourself. You've probably seen it before. I especially like how it sits under my makeup, but I'm probably not gonna wear that much makeup today just because I need to like get the ball rolling and goodbye. I need to get the ball rolling and get to work. Nobody wants to work anymore. I actually do not want to work anymore. It's me. Oh my gosh, so let's chat about why I think this particular migraine attack that I'm having right now was triggered, because I'm very familiar with my personal triggers. Like I really have gotten a good grasp on it and all that. But anyway, sometimes it's still like you have to play detective when an attack pops up and figure out what the heck happened. As I'm thinking about it, obviously there's weird weather stuff going on, and obviously I've been a little bit more stressed than usual, so like these things can definitely contribute. But what I think actually happened is I know my food triggers, like my specific food sensitivities that if I eat them causes an inflammatory reaction. So I know what my trigger foods are, and I'm not like super adamant and strict about them, but I do overall like try to reduce the amount of them that I eat when I can, when it makes sense. One of the main triggers I face is corn, and I have just a deep love and obsession with popcorn, and I let myself have some yesterday. So we have a big bag of, what is it called? Buddha's something or other, but like a big bag of like pre-pop popcorn, kind of like the Skinny Pop, Boom Chicka Pop stuff, but it's a Buddha something or other, I don't know. And we love it. Like Dan buys that, my fiance, and he uses it for like his starch with his meals when he's packing his lunch. So I usually try to avoid it because I do try to avoid corn when I can, but last night I was just getting this craving, and I knew I was a little bit hungry after dinner, and I'm like, that's the only thing I want. I want popcorn. And actually he talked me out of having the pre-pop popcorn. He's like, why don't you make some like homemade popcorn. Like we have the kernels and everything. And I don't know how he talked me into that. I really don't. But I did make it and I ate it. And I'm sure that that did not help, even if it didn't potentially trigger the attack, because I think I was already a little irritable at that point, so it probably was already a little symptomatic, but I'm sure it didn't help anything. I'm sure it made it much worse, because I ate quite a bit, and oh gosh, I put way too much foundation on my forehead. What am I doing? Because like I said, like I'm not very strict with my food triggers. Like often I'll have some corn in like a stir fry, or I will have a little bit of popcorn as a snack, and like it makes me feel bloated and a little icky, but it doesn't always trigger an attack. Like I'm not that worried about it, but I'm sure I overdid it yesterday. But yeah, that's just a theory. Okay, I'm gonna finish up getting ready to go, and I might chat with you when I get to work. Well, howdy. I just got to my first work site of the day, so I'm gonna head in. This is usually my longer building, so I do expect to have quite a bit to do, and I expect to be here for quite a while. But I'm very pleased to report that my Nurtec absolutely hit the spot. It absolutely helped. I felt way better very quickly. I am still working on, this is actually mostly the first cup of coffee I had. I kind of neglected it while I was getting ready and it got a little cold. So what I did was I kind of boosted it up. I had some leftover, like one of those big jugs of like a pre-made latte from Starbucks. Like it was from a grocery store. I don't know how to speak. Oh my God. But I had a big pumpkin spice latte thing that I was gifted actually from somebody at this work site. So I just used the rest of it and mixed it with my plain black coffee. And I am gonna have a little extra caffeine today, but I love a little fun pumpkin spice latte. It's a little bit, when is it too late in the year? I need to hear from, you know, the audience. I need the consensus. When do we stop drinking pumpkin spice flavored beverages and eating? I guess Thanksgiving hasn't happened yet. That feels like that's still pumpkin spice holiday, right? Anyway, I'm procrastinating going in because I don't want to do anything, but I have a lot to do, so I should head in and get going. So the things I expect to have to do, I'll screen all of the new admissions, see who's at nutrition risk, and do assessments on people who are at any risk. And if I get referred to talk to anybody, I will absolutely obviously do that and give some nutrition education. I'll give you a little recap if anything interesting and juicy happens. Oftentimes these types of patients don't always want to have a nutrition discussion because they're not in a hospital for any nutrition related reason, which is again totally fine with me. Like I get it, you're here for psychiatric reasons, so I'm not gonna tell you like you need to lose weight, which I never do, by the way. I don't go up to people and be like, by the way, you're really fat. I don't do that. But if they do ask about weight loss diet education, then I'll give that, obviously. But yeah, I don't walk up to someone like, oh hey, I see that you have diabetes, so you have to sit down with me and like get diabetic education right now, because they are here for other reasons. But I will do my best, obviously. And then beyond that, I think I alluded to this earlier, but I do have a lot of food service related stuff to be working on right now. I have a total revamp of the fall winter menu to start, because we just recently moved to our fall winter menu cycle at this building, which wasn't built by me. It was built by a prior dietitian that did this consult building, like had a contract with this building before me, who has now left. She built it, and I don't know if I messed something up, because I may have edited it before we went to our spring summer. I don't really remember, but everyone's like very upset about this menu. So I was trying to make some small changes and tweaks and everything based on the feedback I was getting, but it became so overwhelming that I'm just essentially starting from scratch. What happened? Sorry. I'm essentially starting from scratch. And I'm only like 10% into that project, and I really need to be moving on that because I don't want people to be upset with the menu for very long. Obviously, I want it to be what they want as soon as possible. And I'm only here about 3 times a week, so I need to get on that. I could do it remotely, so if I don't have enough time today, I will definitely prioritize working on this later this evening, because I usually have a lot of downtime in the evenings, which I'm sure I'll show you later. But yeah, that's kind of what I've got going on right now. I should take off my glasses. I barely need these, by the way, but like it's a little bit of a drizzly day and I do wear them when I'm driving. Wow, maybe my vision is bad. Hold on. Oh, everything got blurry for a sec. But I am still like post-migraine situation going on. A little foggy, vision's a little wonky. So I don't know. Anyway, okay, talk to you later. Oh, hello again. I just got out of that building. And as expected, there was a ton of work to do, and I did not get the menu stuff done that I wanted to get done, but I did put it in a folder, and maybe I might work on it later. We'll see what happens. It's not the end of the world, but I think I described earlier how I really would like to get it done sooner rather than later. The good news, even though I had a ton of work to do, is this building, they're like trying to bribe me with food, and it's working. I got a donut. It's a leftover donut, but they're like, hey, it has your name on it. I don't know if it's caramel or maple, but it was the last one. I was like, I got that Midwestern politeness ingrained in me. I can't take the last thing, but they're like, no, this is for you. So anyway, I'm gonna enjoy a little donut on my way to building number 2. And as far as any like fun things that potentially happened at this building, nothing out of the normal, nothing out of the regular realm, but there were a lot of assessments to do and so many food allergies, especially shellfish. Everyone has a shellfish allergy today. Like, what's going on with that? I mean, that's nothing I can do anything about other than just like making sure all the staff are aware and it's communicated clearly so we don't run into any issues. But like, that was kind of the unusual trend of the day. Luckily, we don't have any shellfish on our menu anyway. Okay, we're gonna go to building number 2, which unfortunately I already did a little sneak peek, a little preview, and I know I have a heavier workload than normal there as well. And right now it's already like 3:30 p.m. a little after that, I think. So I hate starting work like later in the afternoon, but hopefully the workload's lighter than it looks. We'll see, to be determined. Hi, honey. Hi. 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 What are you doing? Come here. Hi. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I just got back from a walk with this gorgeous girl. Look at that smiley face. Can you see her? Yeah. What are you doing? She's silly. So I need to get her dinner all heated up. I do give her homemade, bless you, homemade food every evening for dinner. Oh my God, Kyla. And I need to hit, oh my God. Oh my God, you just hit my teeth. Okay, so I need to go get her dinner ready, get my dinner ready. She wants to go back outside even though we were just out there for half an hour. Right, babe? Yeah. And then I think of, okay, this lighting's bad. Let me go somewhere else. Okay, I think I've made the executive decision to not do any more dietitian work today because it's pretty late actually. And I just want to vibe. I just want to chill. So I actually have some leftovers. And anyway, yeah, it's Friday night and I do get abandoned every, I'm being nudged in the booty right now. She's nudging me. Oh my God. I get abandoned every Friday night because my fiance goes and does a nerdy thing that is like a group activity. So I just like let him go do his thing. He plays Magic the Gathering, if you're familiar. Let me know. Kyla is very upset that her father is not here, apparently. She's throwing a fit. Yeah, so I'm just gonna chill out. This is actually my favorite evening of the week because yes, I get abandoned and everything, but I'm such an introvert that I like need this time to like recharge. Oh, it just feels so good. Okay, I'm gonna go get the food situation so she can stop yelling at me. And yeah.
Was it worth the drinks in the minute?